What's up guys, how's it going? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Marcus Jose of Thee Bullco. Today you guys are watching 5 rules to reintroduce dogs that have been into a fight. To even mention dog fighting is almost a taboo thing. The fact that I'm putting this on my YouTube channel is to tell you guys that this does happen. It happens to everybody. If you own more than one dog, a fight can happen, and sometimes it does. Depending on the type of dogs you have, the fights could be really fast and easy if they were smaller, or they could be really bad if they're bigger dogs with more drive. Now today, I'm bringing you this video because I've been working with dogs recently, and I myself have had a dog fight on my yard with my own dogs. And these are some of the techniques I use to get my dogs back together. So without further ado, let's get right into this video so you guys can figure it out. Number 5. You all need to learn how to properly break up a dog fight. Now this needs to be done very quickly but patiently and calmly. If you yourself are erratic, you might very well end up being bit as well. So the first thing you need to do, if you have more than 2 dogs in the yard, you need to put the other dogs not in a fight up. The reason for this is that you don't want more dogs to get into the fight, okay? The second thing you need to do is you need to attach one lead to an anchor, which would be like a tree, and a dog to the anchor, which would be the dog that's really receiving more of the fight or receiving more of being bit. If the only dog you can get to is the aggressor dog, you need to attach the lead to a dog, to an anchor, which is the tree, and then utilize a break stick. A break stick is essentially a stick used to pry open the jaws. And also can be used to stop further injury, stop from biting down. But you can't do this until you have control of at least one of the dogs. Now, if you're fortunate to have 2 people there, you both need to grab an individual dog, and the dog that has the hold of the other, his or her bite needs to be broken. So you stick the stick, the break stick, right between the teeth behind where the dog's holding on. Okay, so if the dog's holding here and there's a space here, you need to stick the stick there and break the bite to break up the fight. Nothing else needs to be done. You don't need to hit the dogs. Obviously you don't want to do that, but never hit the dogs. Never do anything out of the ordinary to cause further damage to these dogs, because at the end of the day, they're your companions and you want to get them back to normal after a dog fight. So rule number 4 is to make sure your verbal commands are on point with both of your dogs. If your 2 dogs are not getting along, you need to start working with them in the verbal commands. Sit, stay, and the 2 main things are leave it and drop it. And I utilize these commands when my 2 dogs got into a fight and were not vibing well together, because whenever one would walk by the other, one if not both would posture. And utilizing those commands, leave it, go away, or whatever it was, whatever word or correction I said, they understood that I was correcting that feeling. It's the feeling you have to correct, guys. When one dog walks by the other and these 2 dogs have been into a fight, they're automatically gonna feel a little tense. If you correct that feeling and have control over your dog, in time they're gonna learn not to get that feeling. They're gonna learn that you are in control, thus they don't have to defend themselves to the other dog. So make sure your verbal commands are on point, especially the leave it and drop it command, or the bed command to send the dog away. Now rule number 3, to start introducing your dogs together, you need to start by taking them on walks together. After a fight, putting 2 dogs in a yard free leash is essentially going to just cause another fight. You haven't done anything to reintroduce them, and the last image or the last feeling they had of each other was fighting. So what you need to do is you need to start by taking your 2 dogs on a walk. This is where that commands come in. If your dogs are calm on a walk, they're not going to start fighting. Okay, they have something better for their energy to put their energy towards. If you don't have control over your 2 dogs while walking, this will never work. You have to be able to properly walk both of your dogs at the same time. If they're out of control, they're pulling, they're barking, they're lunging, you're probably going to end up with another fight. So if you can't control both of them, start by walking one, just like you started by reintroducing those commands. Okay? Now, once you have the commands, you go on to start walking. If you can't do it together, walk one at a time. But once those dogs you're walking them. Once they're showing behavior, they're relinquishing control to you, then you can start walking them together and not next to each other, on the left and right of each other, okay? In this moment, they're gonna start associating, their memories of each other is gonna start getting conjumbled and mixed up with the fight, with a good feeling of them walking together. It's the experiences you have to give them, that everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine, I'm in control. And once you can do that, once you can walk two dogs together, they're at least gonna be calm enough to be able to see each other and not go after each other. Now, the second most important thing you need to do is be a proper leader. You need to be able to control your dogs, control their emotions, command them, not simply just let them do what they want to do. The only way you're going to get your dogs to be comfortable together again is if they both look up to you as the leader. If you don't present yourself as a leader, if you're not a leader, if you're not confident, if they are not confident in you, you will never be able to get your dogs back together. You're going to be spending the rest of your life rotating the dogs, one inside, one outside, and that's no way to own dogs. It's not fun for you, it's not fun for them. If it comes down to that point, you need to think about getting your dog with a trainer like myself who can get your dogs back to normal. Now, the number one thing to reintroduce two dogs that have been into a fight is to understand the fight. Understand why they got into a fight. Now, when my two dogs got into a fight, I was very fortunate and unfortunate. Obviously, I was unfortunate because they got into a fight, but I wasn't here, so I couldn't break it up. There were two dogs in the yard together that were not kenneled, but the others were, just two were roaming free. The reason I was fortunate was because I had cameras in the spot they were fighting. So when I got home, I seen that there was an unfortunate accident, blood. One dog was put up with minor injuries. The other dog was taken to the vet with major injuries. Long story short, luckily we didn't lose any of the dogs. Luckily there was no maiming, and luckily the fight didn't go on for too long, but it was a fight. In the camera, when I watched the camera, I seen one dog being overly excited and one dog not liking that excitement. And then when that dog went to the other, trying to correct that behavior, the other dog postured and the fight broke out. So it was the energy levels. The energy levels were different. One dog was relaxing, the other dog was being erratic. The one dog relaxing didn't like it, and then that's what happened. Now, quite often you're going to see the fight. A lot of fights happen when there's turmoil in the household, when there's fighting, a lot of yelling, or maybe it's just too much excitement when there's people over, right? A lot of times you're going to see that. And at that moment, you have to understand what went on. Now, there's many things that can cause a fight. There's food dominance, toy dominance, overexcitement, pure aggression, a lot of things that can cause a fight. Your understanding of what caused that fight is going to enable you not to allow it to happen again. If your dogs fight every time they're in the yard together by themselves, guess what you shouldn't do? If your dogs fight every time someone comes to the door, guess what you shouldn't do, right? You should probably do some training or not have your dogs out, not kenneled up when someone comes to the door, all right? If your dogs fight when there's yelling and fighting in the house, you need to understand, if you and your significant other are having a disagreement, put one dog away. Put both dogs away. Not together, but put them away. Because you're going to go from fighting with your spouse or your significant other to breaking up a dog fight. And it's happened, okay? Your dogs are in tune with your energy levels and your emotions. If turmoil and crying or fighting or yelling or whatever different type of energy you're giving off causes a dog fight, then you need to be aware of that. You can't just think, oh, they aren't gonna fight because I've done training with them. Please believe it will happen again if it continues to happen. Your ownership of that will allow you to fix the problem and at least diminish the chances of it to reoccur. So let's go over these 5 rules one more time. Number 5, make sure you know how to break up a dog fight in the correct way to get it done very quickly, efficiently, without causing more damage. Make sure your verbal commands are on point. Sit, stay, drop it to huge one, and leave it to huge one. That way you can correct that behavior when they start to posture and you're trying to reintroduce them. Number 3, start by taking your dogs on walks together. You need to associate good memories with each other, not the dog fight they last were in. Number 2, be your dog's leader. Calm, confident, but stern. Demand their respect. If both of your dogs respect your command, respect your presence, you're going to be able to stop and correct bad behaviors like 2 dogs wanting to fight each other. And the number 1 rule to reintroduce your dogs together is to understand why the fight happened in the first place and do your best not to allow that situation to come up again. If you follow these 5 rules, you're going to be able to bring peace and tranquility back to your life and back to your animals. But it can't be done without putting time in to get it done. You have to sit down, or in this case, go out and actually get these dogs back together. Keeping one dog inside and one dog outside and rotating them so they won't fight is no way for you or the dogs to live. It's not fun for them, it's not fun for you. You want to be able to enjoy your dogs together. So get to work and bring that back, bring that peace back. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Marcus Jose. Make sure you guys subscribe. We're going to be putting out videos every Tuesday and Thursday from now on. Gonna at least try to. But I really do appreciate everything and anything that you guys send over. Any love, compliments, even perspective videos you want to see. You guys have a good day. Take it easy.